Hey guys, I've gotten back into doing some modding and I've got a pretty cool update here. I've been looking into how to work with the GUI and I've replaced all of the buttons and switches in SciFi mod with these advanced buttons, but they're not only buttons, they can be switches, single tick, pretty much any scenario of what a button or switch can be. And the way this works, see here I've got a button and if I hit U to edit, this brings up the menu. Now if you don't want to see the edit, once you're familiar with this, you can hide the edit and now it just says the name. But pressing U still works. It's just hiding the text. Or if you want like a secret button, you could hide everything. And it'd probably work better if the button is not facing you, so it's a little more discreet for the fact that it's an actual button. But the main thing here is that you can rename it and change the modes. So for example, let's say this was going to be like your guns or something. You can type in guns, and unfortunately, I can't get the keyboard input. There is no API for like retrieving the text. But this works pretty well, so you can still, call it what you want. And make sure I don't hide that. There we go. So I've got just showing that it's for your guns here. And just to show the different modes, right now it's a normal button. So if I hold the button down, you can see it turns on. If I go to the inverted mode, it's normally on, and when I press it, it turns off. The single tick, as expected, is a single tick pulse. There's an inverted version because might as well. I'm not really sure what you'd use that for, but it's there just in case. And the switch, of course, acts like a switch. Now for the switches, the inverted mode really just comes into play when you put it on your lift. So as a switch, it's going to reset to off. As an inverted switch, it's going to reset to on. And the switch memory is an option which will basically stay wherever you have it. So if you put it on your lift, it was on, it'll stay on. If it was off, it'll stay off. And that's pretty much all the modes I could think of to include. If you can think of anything, you can just leave a comment, let me know. And something else to note is that they also accept inputs. They will act like a logical OR gate for all the inputs coming in. So for example, this one is in a switch mode. It says button, but I changed it into a switch mode. And if I actually, just to clarify there, it says button because that's what it starts its name as the default type of what it was, but you can rename this to be something else. So it's currently in the switch mode, and if I click it, it switches, but also this logic input has a button attached, and if I click the button, you'll see it's toggling. So it acts like a flip-flop in this kind of scenario, and it's, kind of neat for a button, but really that's going to come in handy with some logic setups. It could save you a bit of logic having a flip-flop. So there's a little more advanced uses for these as well. But for the most part, I just wanted something where you could name your buttons to know what they are. It's going to really help with like sharing builds, and people are going to be able to discover, rather than push the button, they can just look like, oh, this button is for the guns, things like that. So thought it was pretty cool. If you guys enjoyed the update, I've got some more cool stuff to come pretty soon, probably in the next couple of days.